Let's talk about old golden retriever Jeremiah in the ninth episode of the third season of The Summer I Turned Pretty. So I think the episode did a good job of putting his codependency on full display. I know all of us have been saying it all season. Belly's constantly comforting him, constantly mothering him, but they didn't really address the codependency elephant in the room until the last episode when Taylor said it to Belly. And I think you're seeing the fallout of their breakup or their wedding not happening of Jeremiah's reaction. Like, he needs Belly to feel better. He cannot be comforted by anybody besides Belly. He has to be coddled by her and told it's gonna be okay, or it's not gonna be okay. So that's like a huge reason he just can't do anything, is because the person he needs to make himself feel better is not there. Which I also think and not a good thing, but something I think the episode kind of highlighted well was what it's like when a really long-term relationship ends, and they both kind of wanted each other to comfort each other, but you can't because you're not together. So I understood where he was coming from, kind of in the sense where it's like he needs her in that moment, but it was also just really ringing in his codependency. Like, he is just like, I need Belly to function, and that's just not healthy. Just like Taylor told him, like, she's not your whole life, Jer, and if she is, that is a problem. That literally is not okay, especially how young they are. So I definitely think that they didn't just like forget about the whole codependency thing from the season 8 episode with Taylor bringing that up. But it's just once again reiterating that he cannot comfort himself. He does not have the emotional maturity to pick himself up. He needs Belly constantly all the time. So them breaking up is probably best for him out of the two of them. And just speaking of their relationship, when Belly called him, it's what I mentioned before. She doesn't say it, but you know, she's probably kind of just like needing to talk to him. They quote unquote best friends. So even though that's the guy that she didn't end up marrying, it's still her best friend and she still wants to talk to him. So I totally get why she was the first person she called. But the way he was trying to Rory Gilmore this situation, it was giving like when Logan proposes to her and she says no, and she's like, but we can still like be together, and it's like, cool, like let's just pretend that didn't happen. How Jeremiah's like, well, we can still be together. That wedding was so stupid anyways. That was so silly of us. Like, what the hell? What are you talking about? You ended the wedding. You said you didn't want some of her heart. You know she still has feelings for your brother. You know your brother has feelings for her. I thought this was so crazy, but it just circles back to how unhealthy their relationship is, that Jeremiah's like, and the codependency, he's willing to be in a relationship that's not good for either of them because he can't deal with not having Belly in his life. So I thought that was so wild of him to be like, just forget about that wedding. Like, that was so crazy of us. Like, that was stupid, wasn't it? Okay. Yeah. And when he snapped on her for her saying she needs to find herself without him, and he told her to don't effing call me again. Jeremiah is a golden retriever. And at the end of the day, and I don't like comparing people to animals, but they have made this comparison on the show. Belly did it herself in like season 1. At the end of the day, a golden retriever is still a damn dog that can bite. Golden retrievers, I don't know if they still are, but they bite like vets and vet techs the most. They were for a while. And that is Jeremiah. Wow. He gets nasty really quick. Yeah, you're heartbroken. You called off the wedding. She went AWOL, but you were begging and wanting her to call you so bad all day. And she calls you and she's like, yeah, I'm not going to come running back to you and cousins. Like, we can't be together after what just happened. And he's like, all right, well, screw you. I don't ever want to talk to you again. So it's just, he gets so nasty so quick. And another example of him being nasty this episode, I felt like his true colors came out. He got really nasty to Laurel. And I just didn't appreciate that. Laurel has never ever been rude to him. It's not that she didn't want him as a son-in-law one day. She did not want them getting married while they were still in college. He had just not graduated because of a silly mistake on his end, not reading emails. They were like, we saw how their relationship was in the first couple episodes. They maturity wise, we're not even like thinking about getting married, wanting to get married. So Laurel was not being awful. She has always been there for the boys. Does she have a stronger connection with Conrad? Yeah, but that doesn't, I've never seen her treat Jeremiah better or worse than Conrad. I mean, I'm just really confused by this and him being so nasty. I get it's her daughter, but wow, he still wants to be with Belly in this moment, and the way he treats Laurel is crazy. I mean, honestly, it was so out of damn line for him to act like this to her. I was really, really appalled by how he treated Laurel when all she wanted to do was make sure he was okay and check on him because she loves him like one of her own kids. And I just thought Jeremiah was really out of line. This conversation was kind of unsettling to me. It's so weird. Like, I never felt like he was in a competition until he just keeps bringing it up this season. It feels like she didn't pick me, but she didn't choose you either. Dude, your life just blew up. Both of your lives blew up. Belly's life is blown up. She's in another country because she don't want to be around either of you boys right now. He was so nasty in this conversation too. You can be like, I really can't see you right now, Conrad. Like, I just cannot be around you right now. I'm really, really pissed off. I don't want to be around you. But the way he just is like, oh, Belly didn't call you? Crazy, because she called me? Always just dangling Belly in front of him like she's a toy or a prize. This is a woman y'all grew up with. Like, she should be, if you're not in love with her, she is like the closest thing you have to a sister, damn near. Well, that's weird because they've all been together, but I just can't understand the way he treats her like an item. She is a person with full agency, and I thought he seemed so evil in this moment. Not evil, but just rotten to his core, and it just enforces his immaturity. This is not the time or place. Like, Belly has abandoned the country. No one knew where she was. You're probably the only person that knows where she is besides her mom at this point. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts how he acted. I'm glad his dad was there for him in the end, and it seems like he really just needed a parent, but wow, Jeremiah was really something else in this episode. I did not expect to get so much Jeremiah screen time, and I just feel like this show is always trying to get me to feel bad for him, and anytime I have compassion for this man, he does something that blows it up instantly. So those are just some of my thoughts on Jeremiah in this episode. Once again, he just continues to prove to us that he is exactly who we think he is. But it's always still disappointing because, come on, Jeremiah, you're better than this. I know you can be better than this, but Jeremiah is still an immature man-child. Point blank, period.